Good evening, boys and girls. I'm Miss Williamson, and I really miss you guys, and I hope you're doing well. Today in math, we're going to be learning in primary central classrooms. Objectives is use manipulatives to create equal groups. Now, you can ask your parents to maybe get you a group of pennies, which is what I have today, some things laying around your house, bottle caps, maybe some marbles. So this will help you be able to do the math lesson that we're going to do today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to complete the lessons. Next, we're going to complete the exit ticket, and then we're going to go over the homework with you guys that you'll be able to do in your spare time. Let's see. Let's get started. I'll give you a second maybe to grab some pennies, grab some marbles, so we'll work with those today. Okay, so like I was saying, in this module, we're going to be laying down the foundations to be able to learn our multiplication facts when we start third grade next year. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to be using a red color pencil so you'll be able to see the actual work whenever we work these problems. I'm going to go slow, and I want you to take your time and really think about what I'm teaching, okay? So for number one, it says, circle groups of 2 apples. So let's count these apples. 1 apple, 2 apple, 3 apple, 4 apple, 5 apples, 6 apples, 7 apples, 8 apples, 9 apples, 10 apples. And if you know, we have 10 apples. That's an even number. We have 10 apples. So it says I have to circle groups of 2 apples. So I'm going to click my red pen, and now I'm going to circle 2 apples at a time. So let's start. I have 1, 2 apples. So I circled 2 apples if you look right here on the screen. And then I'm going to circle 2 more apples. 1, 2, 1. Uh-oh. There we go. 2 apples. And then, so I have 1, 2 apples, and then 3, 4 apples circled. Now, I still have some left, so I'm not done. We got to keep circling and grouping them by 2 until we finish. So next I have 1, 2 more apples, and then I have some more left. Let's circle 2 more apples. 1, 2 more apples, and then I still have 2 left, and that's a good thing because it told me I need to circle groups of 2 apples. So let's circle the last group together. 1, 2. So now I have 1, 2 apples circled. Then I have 3, 4 apples circled, 5, 6 apple circles, 7, 8, and then 9, 10. And so I want to know how many groups, how many circles, red circles do we have? Because the red circles represent one group. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. So that means I have 5 groups. What is in each group? There are 1, 2 apples in each group. But you may not have apples at your house. You might just have 2 pennies. So in each group, if you were to put them to the side, I have one group, 2 pennies. Another group, 1, 2. Another group of 2 pennies. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 pennies in all. Then I have 1, 2. That's another group. Then I have 1, 2. That's another group. And then 1, 2, that's another group. That's the same amount. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 pennies. Same thing as on the screen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 apples. So now let's finish and record our answer. So at the bottom it says there are blank groups of 2 apples. So I'm going to write there are 5 groups. So I'm going to write 5 down. 5 groups of 2 apples. And that's what you should, all you guys should have as well. Now we're going to go on and we're going to do number 2 together. All right, good job, good job. Now we're going to go on and we're going to do number 2. And number 2, we're going to be working with some sports ball. Look like a soccer ball, a circus ball, and a baseball. And I know a lot of us really like to play with our toys, especially since we've been at home all this time. So let's just think about when we're playing with our toys when we do question number 2. So number 2 says, let's circle groups of 3 balls. So we're going to make another group, but this time instead of just being 2, it's going to be 3 balls in each group. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab my red pencil, click on it, and then let's start this one together. Let me get everything ready. I'm going to make sure all of my pennies are ready for when we get ready to do that as well. So let's see. Circle groups of 3 balls. Well, let's count. I'm going to circle this baseball and these 2 circus balls. And you don't necessarily have to just circle those, but right now we're going to circle these 3. So let's circle 3. 1, 2, 3. That makes 1 group. Then let's circle another 3. I think I want to circle the 3 soccer balls. So now let's circle 1, 2, 3 soccer balls. That's another group. So we have 1 group of balls, and now we have 2 groups of balls. But there's still some balls left, so we're not done, okay? So now we're going to circle these 2 baseballs and the circus ball. So let's circle those 3. 1, 2, 3 balls. And now we've made a third group. Now we have 3 groups. We have 3 red circles, right? That's 3 groups of 3 balls. But we still have some left, so we're not done. Let's keep going. So now we have these 2 soccer balls and a circus ball. I'm going to circle those 3 because the question told me to circle groups of 3 balls. And we're almost done. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red circles. That's 4 groups, but we're not done. We have one more set that we could circle. So I'm going to circle the baseball, the circus ball, and that soccer ball for our last group. 1, 2, 3. And that's really, really good. So now I'm going to put, there are blank groups of 3 balls, right? So let's see, how many groups do we have? How many red circles did we create and we made when we circled those balls? Let's count. We have 1 group, 2 group, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups of 3 balls. And so if you have your pennies, you can imagine or think that my balls, these are the pennies. So now I'm going to get 3 pennies. 1, 2, 3. That makes the group. Then I'm going to make the second group. 1, 2, 3. That's my second group. Then I'm going to get another one. 1, 2, 3 pennies to represent the balls. That's my third group. And then I'm going to get 3 more pennies to represent the fourth group. And then I'm going to grab and I'm going to get the last 3 pennies that I have, and then I'm going to make my 5th group. And this, as you can see, this is really helping us learn how to do multiplication because we have 3 balls in each group and we have 5 groups. So let's see. Let's answer our question. It says there are blank groups of 3 balls, and we said we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. So I'm going to write 5 down again. There are 5 groups of 3 balls, and so it's just similar to the first one, but this time we had to group 3 balls in each group. Good job. All right, boys and girls, I'm glad we did those first 2 questions together. Now let's move on to number 3. Number 3 tells us, let's redraw the 12 oranges into 4 equal groups. So now we're working with oranges, and maybe you have some oranges at home in your refrigerator, which would be a really good thing. I'll be proud of you if you have your oranges and you eat 1 orange every day. That's really good. But if not, you could grab 12 pennies, and we could use the 12 pennies instead. So let's see. Redraw the 12 oranges into 4 equal groups. That means we're going to have 4 circles, and they already have the circles for us. If you look right here on the screen, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles that we're going to use, and we're going to place each orange in each circle. So we could pretend like each circle is a basket, and we're going to put the same number in each basket so that each person can have the same amount of oranges in their basket, because we want to make sure everything is fair and everybody has the same amount. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my red pencil again because I really like using red. And let's see, redraw the 12 oranges into 4 equal groups. So each time I put an orange in the basket, I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to do it by basket. Each time I'm going to cross out the orange, I'm going to put it in the basket to make sure they're all equal. So let's get started. So my first orange, I'm going to cross it out, and then I'm going to draw it in the first basket. Then I'm going to get another orange and I'm going to put it in the second basket. Then I'm going to get another orange, cross it out, and then I'm going to put it in the third basket. And then I'm going to cross out another orange and I'm going to put it in the last or the fourth basket. And if I look on the screen right here, I see that each basket has the same amount, and that's good. That's what we want, because the question told us that we want 4 equal groups of oranges, but we're not done. We still have some oranges left, so let's keep going, okay? So now I'm going to cross out this orange and I'm going to put another one. I'm going to cross out another orange and put it in the second one. I'm going to cross out another orange and put it in the third one. And then I'm going to cross out another orange and I'm going to put it in the fourth one, or the last one. So that's really good. Now if I look on the screen, uh-oh, can't erase that. Let me see. Nope, I cannot erase that. Oh well. Let's see. I'll just erase it inside of the circle. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, if you look, we have 2 oranges in each group. So we have 1, 2 in the first basket, 1, 2 in the second basket, 1, 2 in the third basket, and 1, 2 in the fourth basket. Each group has 2 oranges in each group in each basket, but we're not done. So I have to finish those last groups of oranges off to make sure we have the same amount. Now let me click back on my red marker, and then I'm going to cross out the oranges as I finish putting them into the basket. So we have 1 orange in the first one, 2 oranges in the second one, another orange in the third basket, and then the last orange, that's all of our oranges, in the last basket. So now each group, each basket has 3 oranges in them, and we're done. That's equal. Each group, 1, 2, 3 in the first, 1, 2, 3 in the second, 1, 2, 3 in our third basket, and 1, 2, 3 in our fourth basket. And if I look over here, all of my oranges is gone. All 12 are gone. And so now let's answer our question at the bottom. It says 4 groups of blank oranges. So we have 4 groups of how many oranges? 3, because there are 3 oranges in each basket. So I'm going to write 3 down at the bottom to complete our sentence statement. And remember, whenever we're doing problems that have words problems, we always make our sentence statement. So 4 groups of 3 oranges. All right, so we did problems 1, 2, and 3 together, and you did really good. So let's keep going so we could keep practicing so we could get better. So okay, so now it's time for us to do number 4. It says redraw the 12 oranges into 3 equal groups. So now we have a new problem, but we're still using those oranges, those same oranges. So we have 12 oranges and we're going to make 3 equal groups. That means now we don't have 4 baskets. Now we only have 3 baskets. So we have to re-put them away and make sure that everybody has the same amount, because one of our friends decided that they had to go home early and they were going to give each of us the same amount so it would all be equal. So our friend left, they went home, and they're going to give us the oranges that they had left over. So let's see. If I take out, I'm going to use a different color. This time I'm going to use green, and we're going to cross out the oranges and put them back into the other baskets, okay? So now let's take this one orange, I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to put it in this basket. Then I'm going to put the same amount in each basket. That's 3. And then this person kept their same amount. So I'm going to cross those out. 1, 2, 3 oranges. And then the next person kept theirs. 1 orange, 2 orange, and then 3 oranges. But this last person that has 3 oranges in their basket, they had to go home. But they said that they were going to give us their last amount of oranges, and they're going to give it equal amount. So each person is going to get the same. So if there's 3 people left, there's 3 groups, 3 equal groups left, 3 baskets, then we're going to put those 3 in each basket. So let's see. Take 1 and put it in 1 basket. So this person has an extra orange from the other friend, and then take this one, put it in the basket. Now this person has an extra orange from the other friend, and then the last person, take that last orange, and now this person has an extra orange from the other person because that person went home and gave all their oranges to their friend. So now let's count. Do we have the same amount in each circle, in each basket? Is it equal? I don't know. Let's count and let's double check and make sure, because remember, we always want to double check our work whenever we're doing problems like this. So number 4, redraw the 12 oranges into 3 equal groups. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 oranges in the first basket. Let's look at the second basket. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 oranges in the second basket. And then let's count that last basket. 1, 2, 3, 4 oranges in the last basket. I think that's equal. There's 4 in each basket. So for each basket, each circle has the same amount of oranges. So we have 12 oranges into 3 equal groups. So let's see if we can answer that sentence at the bottom. It says 3 groups of oranges. Blank oranges. How many oranges? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were four oranges in each basket. So we grabbed our pennies. Like we said, we can imagine that these pennies, I have 2 in each hand, or the oranges. So now I have 4 oranges in the first basket. I'm going to grab 4 more pennies, 4 more oranges, and I have 4 oranges in the second basket. And then I'm going to grab 4 more pennies, and then this is my last basket. 1, 2, 3, 4 oranges in the last basket as well. So now I'm going to put 3 groups of 4 oranges. And that's the question to number 4. All right, so now we're going to work on number 5. Number 5 tells us, redraw the flowers to make each of the 3 groups have an equal number. So we're going to look on the next page, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first group, 1, 2 in the second group, and 1, 2, 3 flowers in the second group. So right now, I think I'm going to make those flowers represent my pennies. So for my first group, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers for my first group, or 4 pennies. Then for my second group, I have 1, 2 flowers. So I'm going to put 2 pennies to represent my 2 flowers. 1, 2. And then in my last group, I have 1, 2, 3. 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. Now when I'm looking at the paper on the screen and I'm looking down at my pennies, I don't think those groups are equal, because you have 4 in the first group and then you have 2 in the second group. The first group has 2 more than that second group. That's not equal. They're not equally to each other. And 2 has 1 less than the third group, because it has only 2 and the third group have 3. That's not even. So the question told us, if we look back, that we have to redraw the flowers to make each of the 3 groups have an equal number. So in each group, we want to have an equal number. And today on this problem, we're going to pretend that each group is a flower pot. And we want to make sure that in each of our flower pots that we have the same equal number of flowers, so it's fair and they can grow, and they could use their water and the minerals to grow and be healthy flowers, just like we learned in science earlier this year. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cross out each flower and group them in the flower pots until we get to the total number of flowers that we have in all. So let's see. I'm going to take the first flower, cross it out, and put it in my first flower pot. So I'm going to take my first penny from that first group and put it in the first flower pot. Then I'm going to take a second flower and put it in the second flower pot. So then I'm going to take another penny and I'm going to put it in the second flower pot. And then I'm going to get another flower and I'm going to put it in the third flower pot. So then I'm going to take a penny and I'm going to put it in the last or the third flower pot. Let's look. Are those equal groups? Yes, because there's one flower in each flower pot. But we're not done because I still have a lot of flowers left and I still have pennies up here. So let's keep going. Let's start over and make sure they're equal, same number. So I'm going to cross out another flower and put it in the flower pot. So I'm going to take another penny and put it in the first flower pot. Then I'm going to grab another flower and put it in the second flower pot. So I'm going to grab another penny and put it in the second flower pot. Then I'm going to grab another flower and put it in the third flower pot. As you can see on the screen, same thing I'm going to do on the table. I'm going to take a third penny and put it in the flower pot, my third flower pot. But are we done? No, we still have 3 flowers left. So I got to keep going until I run out of all my flowers and they each have an equal group of flowers. So let's keep going. So I'm going to cross out this flower and put it in the first flower pot. Same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to take this penny and I'm going to put it in the first flower pot. Then I'm going to take another flower and I'm going to put it in the the second flower pot. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to get that second penny and I'm going to put it in the that last penny and put it in the second flower pot. And then I'm going to grab this last flower. It's the last one. We're almost done. Good job. So we're going to cross out this flower and we're going to put it in the last flower pot. And I only have 1 penny left that doesn't have a home. So I'm going to grab that penny and I'm going to put it in the last flower pot. Now, looking at the screen right here, we're out of flowers and I'm looking down, I'm out of pennies. So we did a good job in keeping track of our flowers and our pennies. But let's see, I have 1, 2, 3 in the first flower pot. I have another 1, 2, 3 in the second flower pot. And then I have another 1, 2, 3 in the last flower pot. So I have 3 groups. 3 flower pots, 3 equal flower pots or 3 equal groups that have how many flowers in each flower pot? We have 3 in the first one, we have 3 in the second one, and then we have 3 in the third one. Good job. So now I'm going to look at the sentence statement and it says 3 groups of blank flowers equal how many flowers in all? So let's see. If I count them, I know that I have 1, 2, 3 pennies or 3 flowers in my first group. Then I have another 1, 2, 3 flowers or pennies in my second group. And then I have another 1, 2, 3 flowers or pennies in my last group. So let's see, what's 3 plus 3 is 6. And then 6 plus another 3, 1, 2, 3 is how many in all? That's 9 flowers in all. So first I'm going to put 3 groups of 3 flowers, and then 3 groups of 3 flowers equals how many flowers did we say we had in all? We have 9. And if you look down and you count all of your pennies, there's 9 pennies as well. So we're going to put 9 flowers because 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. And this, like I said at the beginning of the lesson, this is setting the foundation for us to do multiplication once we move on to 3rd grade next year, because you'll learn later on that 3 times 3 or 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. So good job on that 5th question. In just a second, we're going to go on to question 6 and grab up your pennies so we could regroup those later in question 6. And I'm just going to give you a second to get that done. All right, good job on doing number 5. So let's move to our last question in the lesson today. So I really need your guys' help because my mom and dad told me that they want me to make some of my homemade lemonade and they want to have the same amount. My mom want to have the same amount of lemonade that my dad has. And so whenever I make my homemade lemonade, I always use the same amount of lemons every time. So when I get ready to make my lemonade for my dad and my mom, I need to make sure that I use the same amount of lemons to make both of their containers of lemonade. So to do that, I went to the grocery store and I got, let's see, how many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of lemon. I bought 5 groups of lemon. However, I need to use all 5 groups to make 2 different jugs of lemonade. So I need you guys' help in helping me regroup these lemons to make an equal amount of in each group for each jug for my mom and for my dad. So I'm going to need your guys' help, okay? I'm going to grab my red pencil. There we go. And so we're going to pretend that this first circle is my mom's jug, and then the second circle is my dad's jug. So let's get started, okay? I'm going to put a lemon in each jug until we're done, okay? So let's get started. So first I'm going to take 1 lemon and I'm going to put it in my mom's jug. I'm going to take another lemon and put it in my dad's jug. And as you can see, they have an equal group of lemons. 1 lemon in each jug. 1 for my mom and 1 for my dad. But we're not done because I still have all those lemons left. So let's keep going. I'm going to put another one in my mom's. And then I'm going to put another lemon in my dad's. And now we have 2 equal groups that have 2 lemons in each jug. But we're not done because I still have 4 packages of lemons left, 4 groups. So let's keep going. I'm going to take 1 from here and I'm going to put it in my mom's jug. And I'm going to take another one and put it in my dad's jug. So now we have 3 lemons in each group. So we have 2 groups of 3 lemons. But we're not completely done because the question says redraw the lemons to make 2 equal size groups. So let's keep going until we finish using all of those lemons. So let's go. We have 1 here. I'm going to put it in my mom's, and then I'm going to take another lemon out of the bag and put it in my dad's jug. Good job. Let's keep going. We still have 3 groups left. So let's keep going. So I'm going to take a lemon out of here and put it in my mom's jug. And then I'm going to take 1 from here and I'm going to put it in my dad's jug. Then I'm going to take another lemon and I'm going to put it in my mom's jug. And then I'm going to take another lemon and put it in my dad's jug. So far, let's see how many lemons do we have in each jug. Well, let's count my mom's jug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my mom's jug, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my dad's jug. Right now, they each have an equal size group. That means each jug has 6 lemons in it. But is it just supposed to be 6? Because I still got 2 bags of lemons left that I bought from the store. So let's keep going. So I'm going to get 1 and put it in the my mom's jug. I'm going to get another one and put it in my dad's jug. So last time we talked about this, we had 6 in each group, but now we added an additional one. So 6 plus 1 equals 7. Now we have 7 lemons in each jug. But let's keep going because I still have some left. So I'm going to take another one, put it in my mom's jug, and then I'm going to get another one and put it in my dad's jug. Now, we're almost done because I still have 1 bag of lemons that I bought from the store earlier to make this lemonade for my mom and my dad. And I already know my mom and my dad, they want to have the same equal amount of lemonade whenever I make this. So let's keep going. So I'm going to take this 1 lemon, and I'm going to put it in the jug for my mom. And then I'm going to take another lemon and put it in the jug for my dad. And then I'm going to take this lemon here and put it in the jug for my mom, and then I'm going to take this lemon and I'm going to cross it out and put it in the jug for my dad. Now, let's see, how many lemons do we have in each group? Well, let's count them for my mom. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lemons in my mom's jug. So I'm hoping that I still have the same amount for my dad, because if my mom has 10 lemons, my dad wants 10 lemons too. So let's count for my dad, okay? In the second jug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. I think we did it right, because my mom has 10 lemons in hers, and then my dad has 10 lemons in his. So now let's read the question again. It said, redraw the lemons to make 2 equal size groups. So we have 2 equal size groups, 2 equal jugs that has the same number of lemons in each one. The first one has 10 and the second one has 10. So let's look at our sentence statement. It says 2 groups of blank lemons equals how many lemons in all? So we know we have 2 groups. We have 2 jugs, one for my mom, one for my dad. So the 2 groups of how many lemons? 2 groups of what? How many lemons did we put in each one? When we counted it earlier, we said that there was 10 lemons in each group, in each jug. So I'm going to put the number 10 on the line, fill it in with my red pencil, and then we're going to put, let's see, how many in all? So if I have 2 groups of 10 lemons, how many lemons is that in all? So I have 10 in my first group, and then I have 10 in my second group, or I have 10 lemons in my mom's jug and 10 lemons in my dad's jug. So I want to know, how many lemons do we have in all? So I'm going to know that I'm going to do 10 for my mom plus 10 for my dad. So 10 plus 10 is, let me just erase that real quick. Sorry. So we have, let me change back to red. 10 plus 10 for my mom, 10 plus 10 for my dad equals 20. So I know that 2 groups of 10 lemons equals 20 lemons in all. And so that's not really a difficult question. You just got to keep practicing and keep practicing. You can use your pennies to do these problems over again and rewatch the video so you can really understand how to make equal size groups. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I want you to rewatch it, keep practicing. If you don't understand it, get mom, get dad to help you, and just keep working on the problems, okay? All right, boys and girls, now it's time to do our exit ticket. When we do our exit ticket, I really want you to really try your hardest to do these questions on your own. Pause the video, and then press play so you can see if you did it right, okay? So first things first, number 1 says, circle groups of 4 hats. Number 1, circle groups of 4 hats. So let's see, how many hats do we have in all? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're going to have to circle groups of 4 hats, and we're going to have 20 hats in all. So you can get a pencil and paper, and you can redraw these hats or make triangles and make 20 triangles, and then you're going to group those triangles or those birthday hats into 4. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of time. You can pause the video while you do this, and then we're going to get started, okay? Okay, now I'm going to grab my red pencil, and I'm going to group them by 4s. I'm going to group the hats into different size groups because I don't really know how many groups I'm going to end up with. I got to draw those circles first. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 hats. So I'm going to circle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 hats. So that's my first group. I circled 4 hats because the question said circle groups of 4 hats. So let's keep going. Let's draw another circle that has 4 hats in it. So now let's go. 1 hat, 2 hat, 3 hats, 4 hats. Now I have 2 groups of 4 hats, and they're equal, right? Because I have 4 in the first group, and then I have 4 in the second group. So let's do this again. Let's circle another 4 hats. So I have 1, 2, 3. Well, that's not enough, so I'm going to have to grab one from the bottom and circle that as well. Excuse me. So now, let's see. We're going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 4 hats in this third group because we have 1, 2, 3 groups or 3 red circles, right? So we have 3 groups that has 4 hats in it, but we're not done because I still have some birthday hats left over. So I'm going to count 4 more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4 birthday hats. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 red circles that has 4 birthday hats in each circle. So they're equal groups. But let's see, I'm not done because I still have 4 birthday hats left. And that's good because it said I needed to circle groups of 4 hats. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. We have 4 hats in one group. So let's see, how many red circles, how many groups did we make? Let's count. 1 red circle, 2 red circles, 3 red circles, 4 red circles, 5 red circles. So we have 5 red circles. That's 5 groups of 4 hats. That's 4 equal size groups that has 4 hats in each group. So that's good job. So I would say, in my sentence, I would say I have 5 groups of 4 hats. So let's go to the next one. And later on in 3rd grade, you would know that 4 times 5 or 4 multiplied by 5 equals 20 because we remember at the beginning we counted 20 birthday hats in all. So now let's go down to number 2. It says, redraw the smiley faces into 2 equal groups. And this is kind of like the one we did when we regrouped our oranges into the 3 circles or the 3 baskets. So let's see. I'm going to grab my red pencil again. And I'm going to cross out those smiley faces and put them in each equal one. So they can have the same number of smiley faces. So let's do that. I'm going to count 1. Actually, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let you guys do it, and then I'll pause it for a little bit, and then you guys could press play and see if you got it right. So you might want to redraw the smiley faces in each circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups with 2 smiley faces. So you can redraw those smiley faces in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups that has 2 smiley faces. You can get your parents to help you with this as well. And I'm going to mash pause, or you can mash pause, and we'll get started in just a second. Okay. So now that you worked this out and you wrote it down on the paper, we're going to work through it together and you go over with your parents, okay? So now I crossed out, again, like I said earlier, 1 smiley face, and I'm going to put it in the first group. And I'm going to cross out another smiley face and put it in the second group. But I'm not done. I have to keep going until they have the same equal number of smiley faces. So now I'm going to cross out this smiley face and put it in the first one. And I'm going to cross out the second one and put it in the second group. So now we have 2 groups that has 2 smiley faces in each group, but that's equal but not done because we still have another groups of smiley faces. So I'm going to cross out the smiley face and put it here. And then I'm going to cross out another one and put it here. Good job. And then we're going to do the next group. So I'm going to take out 1 smiley face and put it in the last one, and the first one. And then I'm going to take the last smiley face and put it in the second group. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the first group and 1, 2, 3, 4 smiley faces in the second group. That's good. They're equal. There's 4 in the first one and 4 in the second one. But that's not all because I still have 2 smiley faces left that didn't get placed. So now I'm going to cross out this last one and put it in the first group. And then I'm going to cross out the second one and put it in the last group. And if I look, I'm out of all of the smiley faces. That's good. So now we're done. But we have to make sure that the first group has the same amount as the second group. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the first group. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second group. So I know if it's 5 in the first one and 5 in the second one, that it's equal because 5 and 5 is the same number. So let's see. Our sentence statement says 2 groups of blank. Well, we know it's 2 groups of 5 smiley faces equals how many in all? So this is where it comes back down to adding these up. So my first group has 5 and my second group has 5. And I know that 5 plus 5 equals how much? 10. That's right. I have 2 groups. Like I have 2 hands that has 5 fingers. You have 2 groups of 5 smiley faces. So the first group plus the second group, 5 plus 5 equals 10. So I'm going to write 2 groups of 5 equals 10 smiley faces. All right. And so that's our exit ticket. And I'm going to get ready to go over homework in just a second, okay? All right, boys and girls, it's time to finish up with our homework. I'm just going to go over these so we can work through these problems together. And so our first one says, number 1, circle groups of 2 shirts. So I'm going to make groups or red circles with 2 shirts in each one. So I'm going to grab my red pencil and I'm going to make groups that has 2 shirts in it. So let's get ready. So let's count 1, 2 shirts. So the one with the stripes and the one with the polka dots, that's 2 shirts. I'm going to circle and make 1 group, and then I'm going to get the 2 shirts that has a red line on it. Those are 2 more. So let's make a second group, and then let's do the last one, the polka dots and the stripes, and we're going to circle it, and we're going to have another group. And so I have how many groups? 1, 2, 3 groups, or 1, 2, 3 red circles that has 2 shirts on the inside. So I have 1, 2, 3 groups. So if we look at our sentence statement, it says there are 3 groups of 2 shirts. Good job. Let's go on to number 2. Number 2 says, circle groups of 3 pants. So I'm going to get my red pencil and I'm going to make sure in each group, each red circle, that there's 3 pairs of pants in each group. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 pants. So I'm going to circle 3 pants. That makes the first group. Then I'm going to make another group that has 3 pairs of pants in it. So I'm going to circle 1, 2, 3 pairs of pants. That's a good job. And then next, I'm going to circle another group of 3 pairs of pants. So I'm going to circle 1, 2, 3 pairs of pants. Good job. We're almost done, but I still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 pair of pants that doesn't have a group. So we're going to get our red pencil and we're going to circle 1, 2, 3 pairs of pants. Now, let's look at what the question says. Circle groups of 3 pants. We did that. Each group, each red circle has 3 pairs of pants in it. So when we look at our sentence statement, it says there are blank groups of 3 pants. How many groups are there? How many word circles did we create or that we made? We have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. We have 4 equal groups, 4 red circles that has 3 pairs of pants in them. So I'm going to put there are 4 groups of 3 pairs of pants, okay? Let's go on to number 3. Number 3 says, redraw the 12 wheels into 3 equal groups. So we're going to make sure that we put we're going to make sure that we put those wheels in each group, but we got to make sure that each group has the same number of wheels. And what we're going to pretend is that each group, that each group is a car. And we want to make sure that each car has the same number of wheels on it, okay? So let's see. I'm going to grab my red pencil, and I'm going to cross out the wheels and put it on each car until we're done, okay? So my first wheel, I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to put it on this car, get another one, and put it on this car. And then I'm going to get another wheel and put it on the last car. So now each car has the same number of wheels. They each have one wheel, but I still have some wheels left. So let's keep going until we're done, okay? So I'm going to cross out another wheel and put it on my first car. Then I'm going to cross out this wheel and put it on my second car. And then I'm going to cross out this wheel and put it on my third car. So now each car has 2 wheels, but we're not done. So let's keep going until we run out. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cross out this wheel and put it here. I'm going to cross out this wheel and put it on this car. I'm going to cross out this wheel and put it on this car. So now each car has 3 wheels, but I still have some wheels left over, so we're not done. So let's keep going. So I'm going to take this wheel and put it on my first car. I'm going to take this wheel and put it on my second car, and then I'm going to take this wheel and put it on my third car. So now each car has 4 wheels, 4 in each group on each car. So we have 3 groups, 3 cars, and each car has 4 wheels. So when we look at our sentence statement, it says 3 groups of blank wheels. Yes, there's 3 cars, 3 groups of how many wheels? 4, because if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 4 wheels in each group or on each car. So I'm going to put 4 right here. And then we would know, just to guess, how many wheels are there in all? Well, we know we have 3 in that first group, 3 in the second, 4 in the first group, 4 in the second group, and then 4 in the third group. And I know that 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 plus 4 is 12. So 3 groups of 4 wheels equals 12 wheels in all. Okay, so as we go on to number 4, it says redraw the 12 wheels into 4 equal groups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those circles, those wheels back like I had them earlier. 1, 2, we had 4 in each group. So I'm going to put those back. 1, 2, let me make sure it stays so you can see it. And then, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I had 4 in the last one on the last car. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 3 groups of 4 wheels. Okay, now that we got that done, let's look at number 4. Number 4 says, redraw the 12 wheels into 4 equal groups. So at the top, we had 3 equal groups that had 4 in each one, but now I'm going to take those, I'm going to use a different color for my wheels, and I'm going to take them from those cars that we did earlier, and I'm going to put it on number 4. So let's regroup them. Redraw the 12 wheels into 4 equal groups. I'm going to take those from the cars, and now instead of having 4 cars, I think I want to take the wheels and make a 3-wheeler. So now I'm going to take those wheels, one from here, and I'm going to put it on my first car, first 3-wheeler. I'm going to take another one and put it on another 3-wheeler. I'm going to take another one and put it on the third 3-wheeler, and then I'm going to take another wheel and put it on the last 3-wheeler. Okay, so that says that we have 1 wheel on each group, on each three-wheeler, we have one wheel, but we're not done. I have to take all of these wheels from earlier and put it on the three-wheelers. So now let's do the second car, right? Let's take that wheel from that car and put it on this three-wheeler. There goes another one. Take it from the car and put it on my second three-wheeler. Let's take another wheel and put it on my third three-wheeler. And then let's take this one and put it on my last three-wheeler. So now each three-wheeler has 2 wheels, but we're not done because I still have a car that has 4 wheels on it and I have to put them on the three-wheeler. So let's finish it up, okay? So I'm going to take this last wheel and put it on the front of the three-wheeler. I'm going to take this one and put it on this three-wheeler. I'm going to take another one and put it on this three-wheeler, and then I'm going to take the last wheel on that last car and put it on my last three-wheeler. Now we redrawn them. The 12 wheels are now on 4 equal groups, on 4 different three-wheelers, because each three-wheeler, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, each group has 3 wheels on it. So if we look at our question, it says 4 groups of blank wheels. If I have 4 three-wheelers, 4 equal groups, what makes them equal? The 3 wheels on each group or on each three-wheeler. So I'm going to put 4 groups of 3 wheels. Okay? All right, boys and girls, so now let's finish up our homework with number 5 and number 6. So number 5 says, redraw the apples to make each of the 4 groups have an equal amount. So what we're going to do is we're going to regroup these apples in the ones below, in our baskets below, and make sure that each basket, each group has the same number. So I'm going to grab my green pen this time since the apples are red, and we're going to regroup them, okay? So for my first one, I'm going to cross out this apple and I'm going to put it in my first basket. So that's 1 apple in the first basket. Then I'm going to take the second apple and put it in the second basket. And then I'm going to take another apple and put it in the third basket, and then I'm going to take this apple and put it in my last basket. So right now each basket has the same number of apples. It has 1 apple in each basket. But we're not done because I still have some apples up here on the screen that needs to go in the basket. So let's make sure we put the same number in each one. So I'm going to grab this apple and put it in the first basket. I'm going to grab this apple and put it in this basket, the second basket. Then I'm going to take this apple and put it in the third basket. And then we have 1 apple left and it's going to go in our last basket. So now we have 4 groups, 4 equal groups, 4 equal baskets that have 2 apples in each group, 2 apples in each basket. So I have 1, 2 in the first group, 1, 2 in that second group, 1, 2 in the third group, and 1, 2 in the fourth group. So if I look at my sentence statement, it says 4 groups of blank apples equals how many apples? So we know there's 4 groups, there's 4 baskets. Of how many apples? Well, we know that there's 1, 2 apples in each one, so I'm going to write 2 down on my blank. But we don't know how many apples there are in all. We would have to count them. But I know that there's 2 apples in each basket, so I'm going to add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. Because if I have 2 apples plus 2 more apples, that's 4, plus 2 more apples, that's 6, plus 2 more apples, that's 8 apples in all. So I'm going to write 8 down on my sentence statement because I know 4 groups of 2 apples equals 8 apples in all, because 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. And next year, like I said earlier, when you get ready to go to 3rd grade, you'll see how this is used for your multiplication facts, because 4 times 2, or 4 multiplied by 2, will equal 8. All right, boys and girls, so we're on our last question of the day. We're going to finish up our last objective, which was to complete our homework. And number 6 says, redraw the oranges to make 3 equal groups. So I think I want to make 3 jugs of orange juice this time. So I went to the store earlier and I bought 5 bags of oranges that has 3 oranges in each. But now I want to put those oranges into 3 separate jugs, and I want to make sure that each jug has the same number of oranges. This is just like the lemon problem that we did earlier, except this time we're going to be using oranges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my red pencil and we're going to get started, okay? So on my first jug, I'm going to put 1 orange. So I'm going to circle in the first orange and in the first jug. Then I'm going to take another orange and put it in the second jug. And then I'm going to take another orange and put it in the last jug. But we're not done. I still have 4 bags of oranges left to put in each jug. So let's keep going. Right now we have 1 orange in each jug. So they're equal right now. Each jug has the same number of oranges. So let's keep going. So I'm going to take another orange and put it in the first jug. Take this orange and put it in the second jug. And then I'm going to take another orange and put it in the third jug. So now each jug has 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 oranges in each jug, which means they're equal. But we're not done. So we're going to keep going, okay? So I'm going to take another orange out of this bag and put it in the first jug. I'm going to take another orange and put it in this jug. And then I'm going to take this orange and put it in my last jug. So now each jug has 3 oranges in each group. But let's keep going because I have 2 bags of oranges left that I bought from the store. So I'm going to take this orange and put it in the first jug. I'm going to take this orange and put it in the second jug, and then I'm going to take this orange and put it in the last jug. So now each jug has 4 oranges. So I have 1, 2, 3 jugs that has 4 oranges in each one. Now they are equal, but I still have 1 bag of oranges at the top that I still have to put in the jugs. So we're not done. So now I'm going to take an orange from this one and put it in the first jug. Finish that circle. And then I'm going to get another orange and put it in my second jug. And then I'm going to get the last orange and put it in the last jug. And now if I count how many oranges are in each jug, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges in the first jug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges in my second jug. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges in my third jug. So now each jug has 5 oranges in them, which means they're all equal. They each have the same amount of oranges in each jug, and that's what I wanted because the question told me, if we reread it, it says, redraw the oranges to make 3 equal groups, and I did that. Each group has 5 apples. So let's look down at our sentence statement. It says 3 groups of blank oranges equals how many oranges in all? Well, I know I have 3 groups, and then there's 5 in each group, so I'm going to write 5 in the blank because there's 3 groups of 5 oranges equals how many oranges? Well, I could sit here and I could count them individually, but I'm going to use some quicker math because there's 5 in each group. So if I do 5 plus 5 for my first 2 jugs, that's 10. And then if I do 10 plus my last jug of 5, that's 15. So I know that there's 15 oranges in all. And later in 3rd grade, you'll see that 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 15. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. And 3 times 5 is 15. Or 3 multiplied times 5 is 15. So I'm going to restate that again to make sure it's cleared up. So we know that 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. And 3 times 5 is 15. And 3 multiplied times 5 is 15. Okay? And so, boys and girls, that concludes our lesson for the day. And I hope you enjoyed it. Continue to rewatch the videos. If you still don't understand it, get your parents to help you with the questions. And tell parents that they can call me during our office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 to 3 p.m. if they have any questions that they have regarding the assignments, okay? All right, boys and girls and parents, thank you for tuning in to Primary Central Classrooms e-learning by Miss Williamson. Whenever you have any questions regarding any of the lessons that I put up, you may contact me, like I said earlier, and just continue to drop questions down below in the YouTube feed as well. Come back daily. I'll be uploading the lessons every day for the most part. Unless something comes up, then I'll definitely will probably have it up within the next couple of days. Just please keep checking back in and stay tuned in to Primary Central Classrooms. Bye-bye.